Good morning, everyone. Time for another update. It's been a couple weeks. Yeah, like I said in my last video, things just aren't happening as much as they used to. So no need to show you guys every week what's going on. Did cut down a bunch of branches out front. Nothing's going on here anymore. I got one pepper plant that grew all summer. It does have a pepper on it. Actually doesn't feel awful, but peppers just don't grow right this time of year. Chopped the maple tree way back. Worst that can happen is it dies, right? Or at least I can hope. But this will never be more than a bush. The jalapenos. A lot of them are turning red because I'm just not picking them. I've been real lazy. As you can see, it's all wet. We've had rain the last 2 days. Before that, we had nothing. Probably for a month. I do got birds that live in these bushes. The bok choy starting to get a lot of pods. Did not know that these grew pods, and it's just like kale. So kind of excited about that. Hopefully I can save them at the right time. And that bok choy has not gone to seed yet, so I guess I actually do have some seed, or some that I can still be eating. The beets never really bulbed up, and I'd attribute a lot of that to literally zero rain in the last at least month, if not longer. I did water every now and then, but probably not enough. Got the pokeweed. Berries are starting to die off and dry up. Birds did eat some. And you can see that color. Apparently the Native Americans used these berries to make ink. I have buried some winter vegetables, greens mostly. I think a Swiss chard went in here, which is probably the last thing I need, but I don't remember. And in here, I put a bunch of cilantro seeds, but all I am getting are tons and tons of tomato volunteers, which I would imagine is coming from these cherry tomatoes, which are still growing. Got some nice ones. Got really good flavor. The beans never did anything with. Rabbit doesn't even like them this year, which is unusual. So, plenty of them I could be saving the seeds from, so I guess I should do that. A pumpkin that was rotten before I even picked it. Some more radishes. Hopefully these guys will bulb up. See, we got a ton of rain the last 2 days, so keep my fingers crossed. And Jamaican pepper here. That was covered by the pumpkins all summer, so it didn't do too great. It's just now starting to produce, but it's too late. A ghost pepper bush. This thing got enormous. And again, I've picked so many peppers. I just not even getting around to picking them anymore. And I could probably be selling these on Facebook Marketplace, but I guess I'm just too lazy. Got bell pepper that grew back there, but I don't know. Bell peppers just did not grow right this year. Don't know why. The ancho. I picked a bunch of these the other day. They didn't get as big the second time around, but it's okay. I'm not eating them anyway. My tomato plant is growing rather nicely. It's actually still putting some tomatoes on. Just don't know if there's really any time for those to finish up. Hey, these jalapenos, I mean, they're almost white. They've lost so much color. I think that's probably sunburn. I guess, I don't even know. Could be a fungus. But the Lemon tree's still doing well. I should just pick the rest of these jalapenos and save the lemon tree. Cucamelons are done for. And I stupidly let the weed vine go to seed, so I'll be getting plenty of those again next year. The tomato plant coming over here too. Very healthy tomato plant. Some nice tomatoes off of it. The cherry tomatoes I stopped picking. I also found down here a whole bunch of cucamelons. I guess that's just where they fell off. Stopped picking those a while ago too, because you can only eat so many. Had a couple butternut there ready to be picked. A couple growing here. I mean, these plants just, man, do they just keep growing. Going there. Got a couple back here. Ready to pick in a couple weeks. This Swiss chard never did anything. Never grow Swiss chard in a pot. Or don't do it the way I did it, because it don't work. Okay. Pretty much stopped protecting inside here. Tomatoes are pretty much done. I should just pick these, clean them out. Swiss chard's getting huge. Still eat it. I'll take one leaf, cut the leaf off, and then cut the stalk up and eat half in a burrito and the whole leaf in a burrito, and then freeze the other half of the stalk. So I have plenty of those for winter. And all kinds of Swiss chard, which, like I said before, I don't know why I'm growing more. Some there. And here, I planted spinach, arugula, and lettuce. And I think all I've gotten so far is arugula and tomatoes. So there's some really good looking Swiss chard over there, 3 of them. And just look at the difference between the garden and the pot. Crazy. And more of the bok choy over there. Some more cherry tomatoes. Not picking them anymore. Got a lot of work to do out here to get this ready for winter. Just to clean it up. And this is the rest of the tomato plant. Got some more beefsteaks down there. Got one way in the back there ready to be picked. Picked a couple of them yesterday. Can't imagine that plant has too much longer to go. Oh, the basil over here. It's gone to seed. Some of it. Some of it has not, so never used any of it. More of the Swiss chard in a pot, and my eggplant that I'll be overwintering. I might give that a little bit of Miracle Grow and then stick it inside. Sadly, winter's almost here, which is just depressing. There's 4 of my pumpkins left. Picked these about a month ago. I can already feel them getting a little rotten. Probably should have kept them somewhere cool, but I just had no hope they'd make it till Halloween anyway. The volunteer tomato plant still getting tons of flowers. Look at all those flowers. Didn't get a ton of tomatoes off of here, but a few handfuls. So it's okay with that. The habanero plant. Gotten quite a few off of this one, which I'm happy with. Don't normally get much production out of this part. Kale is really pathetic right now, and I don't know why. I know the bugs got a hold of it. Those white moths, I mean, ate it up pretty good. Yeah, I might try to clean that out. Maybe this will last a long time into the winter. Raspberries are done, but had a great year with them. Now these canes will come back again in the spring and then die off, so I may cut them back a little bit. Seem to get better production that way when there's not as many, but we'll see. Cherry tomato, I'm picking a lot. These grew so well back in here. I mean, I didn't expect to get a lot, but I've had so many nice, look how nice those are. They grew beautifully. They grew plentiful. This might need to be where these grow again next year. Maybe try to add a little bit of nutrition in there, but just this is only 2 plants. Getting so many tomatoes off of them. So many still growing. So I haven't been out here for about a week. I'm really kind of impressed with that. The jalapeno plant's dead. The cucumber died, never did anything. Bell pepper plant never did anything, but gonna be happier with the tomatoes. Okay, and the mostly hot pepper bed. Still putting on hot peppers. Don't think there's really much time for them to ripen, but we got habaneros. I mean, I've stopped picking them. I mean, I've picked like 1,000 peppers at least. The bell peppers, see, it's not growing right. Little white spots in there, and I don't know what happened to them this year. More habaneros. These Jamaican, what are they? Jamaican red something or another's. A whole bunch of those. The Peter pepper back there. Sweet potato vine that the wildlife's been enjoying. Don't know when to harvest them. Is that a flower? Huh. Did not know sweet potatoes went to flower. It's a pretty flower. And another one there. Wonder if I could keep the seeds on that. That'd be fun. More anchos. I think this is... Yeah, more anchos. The plant did incredible this year, but I think the star of the year is this... I think these are the Scotch bonnets. I mean, just so many peppers. Look at that. And it's always like this. I pick buckets full, and they just keep coming back. And then, I mean, it's got a thick wall. And I'm not going to eat it for you, but let's see if I can just take a bite out of it. Look at that. I can feel the burn in the air. Luckily I didn't get my mouth it. I mean, that's as thick as a bell pepper. Good flavor. That pepper's a winner. And I got 1, 2, 3 plants. Just more than I'll never know what to do with. Oh God, just looking at the work that's going to be. There's a sweet potato vine coming from all the way over there. Cayenne pepper did terrible this year, but got some. Or the Scotch. Somehow I bit that without getting any heat in my mouth, so yay me. Peter pepper, plenty of them. These are thin-walled. They're more grown for the novelty of being a Peter pepper than anything else. Bell pepper did not do well. The other, that's coming from the other side. So the other sweet potato vine did not do as well at all. So we'll have to see if anything grew down there. Another ghost pepper bush. Never knew these things grew so big. And again, I don't need this many ghost peppers. Just look at them all. Not all of them grow, some of them get this mold. I don't know why. But then again, I don't need that many. Green onion, don't use it nearly enough. I need to use my garden more next year. It's a basil plant that grew out here. It's since gone to seed. With the radishes that do nothing but feed the rabbit. The rabbit loves these radishes, which is weird because the wild rabbits clearly could care less about them. Okay. If you can see up the skies, might be getting more rain. We've probably gotten at least a few inches the last couple days, and after going a month at least with no rain at all, not even a drizzle. We need it. Yes, I need to clean this up and try to get those asparagus still alive. Need a mole pepper. Just the one growing peppers after, What am I going to do with mole peppers? I don't know. If you ever get these prickly weeds, you know you can't get rid of them. Raspberry patch did excellent over here this year. Can't complain at all. Plenty of those are overripe, but got plenty of them. More habaneros. Bell peppers growing. Plants did pretty well. The peppers that grew did not. I mean, just look. I don't know if it's just because they didn't really start maturing till it got cold out or what the deal was. But they did not do great. Those don't look bad. That's a good looking pepper. That's a really good. Alright, well, the garbage men are coming, so let me take a break here and I'll show you the rest of it in a little bit here. Okay, garbage men are gone. So, anyway, did want to ask if anybody has any thoughts on hostas. We are trying to save the seeds. My wife wants to try to save them this year. And, we plan on just cutting these off, drying them, planting the seeds over the winter. If anybody has any recommendations or anything we should know about that. I also saved a bunch of those. And we got two different kinds of, hostas. And the Vinkavine. Not sure if anybody ever bought those for your pots, but we decided to put them in the landscaping here, and it does not die and spreads everywhere, so be careful if you do that. Okay, and all I really have left is the hot peppers out front. They're kind of slowing down. Had a good year with them. The anchos did pretty good. The habaneros, got plenty of those. The purple bumblebee tomato did very well, which it always does. It's a very hardy plant. So I highly recommend those. Not as sweet as the red tomatoes, but still got a good flavor. And more Scotch bonnets, because the 10,000 I grew in the back just wasn't enough, I guess. These aren't doing nearly as well anymore. They say the weather's cooling down, so. The Jamaican Red Hot. What's going on with my camera here? It's not behaving. Mole peppers. This one's not looking good at all. I got plenty of them off of there. This was a weird one. I don't know what this was. It grew different. That's pretty much it. The season's sadly coming to an end. I'm not a winter guy. I will probably be on a beach somewhere if I ever get to retire. I don't know the way the country's going. I'm not sure I'll ever get to, but don't want to get into that or I'll just get depressed. So anyway, garden makes me happy. This is my happy place out here, especially when I have a good year, which I did this year. Put a lot of work in until my son's soccer season started to kick into full gear. I haven't really done anything the last month or two, but as long as you get a good start in the spring, get things going, garden takes care of itself. I mean, it's nature. It wants to live. It wants to produce. It's going to make veggies for you, which mine did this year. So now's the time to start planning for next year. Yeah, it's going to look a lot different next year. Not nearly as many hot peppers. So I don't know if you can really tell anymore, but I have where the pumpkins were growing. Something was digging in the ground, looking for bugs, I guess. And another thing that I've noticed is I have a ton of stink bugs. They are loving my garden this year. In different varieties. Some of the gray, some of the black, some spotted. I didn't realize there were so many different varieties of stink bugs, but got plenty of them this year. Anyway, sounds like I'm just rambling on now, so I appreciate everybody who came by to watch my video and stayed on this long. And if you don't mind, just leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see everybody on the next one.